this is the type of lighting, this type of little easy mic you need. Let's do these types of videos. Let's double up your energy a little bit, like things of that nature. So we coach on that, and we can turn a lot of people that have never done video to doing it pretty well.
Welcome, Genesis Nation. And I am excited to have with me today Dr. Kevin Christie with Modern Chiropractic Marketing. And I was fortunate enough to meet you, Kevin, through Dr. Jay Greenstein, who's a mutual friend of ours at his Kaizenovate Business Summit, which was awesome. And you are a presenter there. And you're in private practice running a business, not a sole proprietorship. And you have really we've had several conversations, so I know this already, that you've taken digital marketing to another level. So I want to share with our listeners in Genesis Nation yet another awesome resource for digital marketing, because if you're not out there digitally marketing, you're missing out. You're just, that's it. Like that is the marketplace now at this point. There's the streets, digital streets, right? So Kevin, if you can share with us kind of your inception of modern chiropractic marketing, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned digital marketing, and obviously that's the wording for it and stuff. And I think some chiropractors get a little bit confused if they hear that. They think, well, I don't want to run an online business. They kind of think of the old funnel and clicking on some buttons and buying something. So the form of digital marketing that I do really is content marketing, and so I became a student of content marketing probably 2013, 14, really dove into it 2015. And then that's just really understanding the principles of having a great content marketing strategy. It's not just all promos and ads and that type of stuff. It's actually being a leading educator in your community. Now, the digital marketing comes in for sure, because that's going to be the vehicle to get this information out pretty well. But it doesn't have to be. It could be a print mailer. It could be a public speaking event. It could be those things as well. But for the most part, we're seeing chiropractors do really well with it. And ultimately, I just was trying to grow my own sports chiropractic practice. I opened it up in 2010. I had been practicing since I graduated in 2005, and we were doing good. We had a nice practice for sure, but I wanted to throw some fuel on it. And I started to learn about marketing, and I did that. And then ultimately, fast forward, it was July of 2016. I just started a closed Facebook group of about marketing for chiropractors, and now it's got 4,700 chiropractors in there, and it spawned a complete business from it.
Yeah. And so thank you for that distinction between, so digital is the format, so to speak, or not even the format. Digital is like the playground, but content is the context. That's a sport that we're playing, is content marketing, right? On the field of the digital matrix, so to speak.
Yeah.
So what are your secrets to content marketing? Well, I don't want you to give away all the secrets, because you are running a business here, but if you can give us some high level tips on content marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to differentiate something for the audience too. And I actually, we just had our mastermind weekend this past weekend in Naples, Florida, and I was the presenter for the morning. We usually bring in guest presenters on different topics, but we were making this whole weekend around marketing. And one of the things I talked to about my chiropractors in there, and they all have really big, busy practices, was that we can't look at it though you have to be an influencer, right? That would be great, but let's assume you're not going to be that, right? Like, as a chiropractor in a private practice, let's assume you're not going to have 1 million Instagram followers. You're not even probably have 50,000 Instagram followers, and that's okay. If you happen to just kill it and do great and you do become an influencer, all the better. But I don't want you to think that you're not doing marketing well if you're not in that kind of huge audience, whether it's a podcast, the YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, right? I don't want you to feel like you're not doing good marketing. What I try to teach chiropractors is a comprehensive approach to their marketing, where you've got that hub and spoke model. The hub's going to be your website. That's going to be that living, breathing thing where you've got content on there. It's SEO rich. You're putting blogs on there. You're putting videos on there, and ultimately driving some good search. And then all the things off it, like emailing your patients once a week, posting on Facebook and Instagram, putting videos on YouTube, right? All, even posting on your Google business profile now, they let you do that. Those are all spokes off that hub that then will move the needle really well for you, what I call a total web presence, right? So we want chiropractors to have a total web presence. But then on top of that, I talk about content marketing in person too, right? Like public speaking in the community, doing workshops and different things of that nature. Even if you have an opportunity to meet with someone like a doctor, like what does that look like? That's kind of form of content. We talk a lot about a multimodal approach to that for sure.
Love it. So all different spokes on the wheel of, a modern day marketing versus just hitting the
Yep.
street and going to BNI groups and things like that. There's
Hmm.
so many more things that we can do, but the bottom line of your metric is, are you getting new patients in the door, right? Or are
Yeah.
you, but that's a concern sometimes, right? Am I putting out content to put out content? Am I putting out content to drive new patients in the door? Is it a combination of those things?
Yeah, actually, Joe Polizzi, who founded the Content Marketing Institute, he's got a whole kind of multi-sentence definition of content marketing. But at the end, one of the things it says is to drive profitable customer action. And so that doesn't mean it has to be just new patients. That could be, you could use marketing like educational content to improve patient adherence so
Yeah.
that they actually come in for the treatment plan that you recommend.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this
Or
also the plug because you can track the retention through Genesis much better with good
yeah, no, exactly. And so, maybe your PVA goes from 12 to 20 because of good content marketing through that active patient life cycle there. Or one of my favorite types of marketing is kind of inactive patient marketing. That weekly email to your email
Yeah.
list. You can even do text message campaigns and things of that nature. But Dan Kennedy, I just love this analogy he gives, and I use it almost every time I give a presentation. But he talks about Dan Kennedy is a kind of a world famous old school marketer. He's actually done a lot in the chiropractic profession, but he talks about putting a fence around your cattle, and your patient base being the cattle and the content being a fence.
Yeah.
You want to surround them with good content consistently so that they stay top of mind, and that if they get a headache, they think of you. If their coworker hurts their back, they think of you. If
Yeah.
they're like they're reactivating more often, or they're referring more often, even if they're not actively coming into your practice. And so having really good new patient marketing is important. Having really good that patient experience marketing is really good. That's kind of where they first contact your office to discharge. And then obviously the inactive patient marketing. If you can hit all three of that patient life cycle, that's when you have a very well developed marketing strategy for your practice.
I have probably 300 questions that came up just from that, just from that. But let's uh let's talk about marketing strategy. Now,
Yep.
are you meeting with like your team in the beginning of the year and strategizing for everything, or do you just kind of shotgun approach, throw against the wall, see what works? Like, what have you found most successful there?
Yeah, what you just said about the shotgun approach, we call random acts of content, right? And,
Yeah,
and we see a lot of that. It's
yeah,
it's reactive, it's sporadic. It's not really good messaging. So whether I'm sitting down with my team or I'm coaching my chiropractors on marketing strategy, yeah, we're doing a yearly marketing plan, and we actually have a marketing planning like digital calendar we use, but then we're also doing it quarterly, right? So the year marketing strategy might be a little bit of a brain dump on things we want to get done. Some of it's going to be consistent, like okay, yeah, we're sending out an email every week, but then we also break it down by okay, maybe we're revamping our website in Q3. Like I want to put that on there. Then we go
which
down
I just
and we
want to
go.
like because everything you're talking about, like you and I have these great marketing conversations. I can pull on that thread significantly. Like your
Yeah.
website, for those of you out there who haven't revamped their website, it's a worthy investment because it's a sales tool. Because
Yep.
I consult a lot of practices and I'm seeing that their website, like above the fold, doesn't even have the opportunity to call the office. Phone numbers on the bottom of the page, or no offers there. So like, I mean, we could jump into that also. You don't do website design, do you? But you do
Yep.
website analysis, of
Mhm.
course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
We'll check that out.
but I just, that was a thread I had to pull on because it was too
Yeah.
important. Go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah. So you're going to have some big ticket items that you're going to put on there, but then we try to, okay, let's plan out the quarter and what are we going to tackle this quarter? And then we go to the month, right? Like we have on our dashboard we have for marketing, we have an editorial calendar. So we like to say, okay, what's going to be our campaign for January, right? And say, okay, we're going to do golf in South Florida. South Florida, January is a big golf month. I'm going to do golf injury prevention for the month and say, okay, how many videos are we going to shoot for that? Where are those videos going to go? We're going to put on YouTube, then we're going to post it on that. Like we kind of map out what the content's going to be. But before we do that, each of our members go through what's called the audience builder exercise. And that helps them ultimately get super clear on their clearly defined audience in a sense.
Yeah.
We want them to know, like, who are you targeting, right? Like what's your ideal patient? And it might be 4 or 5 groups, right? It could be golfers, runners, desk workers. It could be a condition like I want headache patients, things of that nature. Then once we got super clear on our audience, we want to have a really clearly defined message that goes with them, right? And so that we can then start to tease out campaigns as well. So yeah, we try to be very proactive with our marketing, because if you're not, you're going to be pretty reactive and you're going to procrastinate, you're not going to do it, or it's going to be random acts of content.
Yeah. So is there, when performing, right? Because you got to be a performer. There's a couple of questions I have. Is like, one, if you don't like performing,
Mm-hmm.
and so do you hire out somebody? Do you find someone from your staff? Like, what have you done with that? The second question, which I'll follow up with after, is more along the lines of those who do like performing. What are some tips for providing that content?
Yeah.
So the first one was like, what do you do if you don't like performing?
Well, if you don't like it and you're not willing to get out of the comfort zone and get better, because you will get better.
Yeah.
So first off is you don't need to be an A-list celebrity, right? You can get better.
Don't need a blue check mark.
No, you don't need a blue check mark.
Okay, good.
You can get better at it.
Yeah.
You have a wealth of knowledge, and that is your core experience for the listener, not the fact that you are great looking or you're charismatic or you're an A-list celebrity or you're fit and you're doing, exercises, right? You have a wealth of knowledge and you can become a thought leader in that, and you will get better, right? Like, and then, we provide coaching around that too. It's like, okay, this is the type of lighting, this type of little easy mic you need. Let's do these types of videos. Let's double up your energy a little bit, like things of that nature. So we coach on that, and we can turn a lot of people that have never done video to doing it pretty well. But if you're just not going to do it, then the second, best would be if you have associates, I would have them do it, right? For sure. Try to get them to do it and get, typically your associates might be a little bit younger and they're in that learning phase of life and they're willing to take on some of those challenges and do that.
Yeah.
And so you could definitely have them do that as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do know chiropractors that are doing good marketing and they're not shooting video. Video is going to be phenomenal for your marketing. And I, implore chiropractors to be doing video. But if it's just absolutely not going to happen, you can still be doing marketing, right? There's a lot of good writing things that can be done or posts and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah. And static pictures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good start. And I think, in my own performance gigs and things that I do, watching myself and getting feedback and learning how to take the feedback has been an ego destroyer, which is good because it's made me more able to connect with the audience. So there's so many directions we can go here. As far as delivering content, is it, are you suggesting a certain medium over others, like Instagram over Facebook, over TikTok, over YouTube? Does it matter, or is it spread across all of those?
Yeah. I mean, we do all of them except for TikTok. Like I'm just, one of the ironic parts about our company name, Modern Chiropractic Marketing, is people expect you to do the latest thing all the time.
Yeah.
And I never did Snapchat, and I'm glad I didn't. I'll never do TikTok, and I don't necessarily know a lot about TikTok's best practices. And so I don't really talk too much about that. Now, I think email is one of the top vehicles of marketing for your practice. It's just so good. But we'll put that aside now. What I like to also tease out sometimes is let's just take Facebook and Instagram. It kind of depends, right? If golfers are your audience and that's who you're targeting, Facebook's probably gonna be better. But Instagram, yeah, exactly. So I was gonna say Instagram would be fine, but we're also looking at demographics, right?
Yeah.
If you're targeting the CrossFitter, Instagram's going to be a better platform
For sure.
So sometimes, but not always, you can take your ideal audience, say, okay, what platform do I find them on more, right? And I can definitely do that. But I still think the king of all online digital stuff is optimizing your Google, right? Making sure your Google business profile is really good, making sure your website is SEO optimized and it's doing well with search. Consider some paid ads, get a bunch of Google reviews, right? Like that's definitely the king. It's not necessarily a big content marketing platform in itself, say Google Business Pro, but when you turn your website into a content platform and you're just consistently putting content on there, that's going to improve your search engine optimization, and Google's going to find your website more. So it is a big content play for sure.
And that stuff, Google changes its algorithm probably weekly at this point. And what I know of SEO is code, content, and backlinks. So like, is the code appropriate for what does that work? First of all, because the code doesn't work, Google's not finding you. Its bots are not finding you. I'm imagining like those robots from the Matrix who were flying around, like those little insects flying around, finding your website. Content, obviously, is it relevant? And is it relevant to the locations in which you want to get found? And then the backlinks. Are you doing any stuff on the SEO side for backlinks for your website, or do you coach your clients to do that?
I don't. We don't handle SEO for someone, but we have someone that we outsource to.
Okay.
And she also helps our clients. Like our clients now, we do coaching with them, but we also do the marketing for them. We coach them to shoot videos, and some of them don't, and they just get the coaching side. But we also develop a robust blog for them every other month.
Okay.
Through Darcy Sullivan, and then she's kind of our resident SEO expert. And then if someone wants to really make sure their website is search engine optimized, we refer them to her.
Okay, awesome, great. Any other gold nuggets here on marketing? Because we could go on forever. And for those of us, for those of you who are engaged here, please put some comments down, give us some marketing tips. And we want to know what you've done that's worked. And we're talking in the world of content marketing and in the digital world. But we would love to hear from the Genesis Nation as far as, what have you seen successful? Even like, what are some tips to be in front of camera? I've been in front of thousands of people in an audience, which you have as well. I've been in front of camera of millions of people, and I'm still terrified every single time I step in front of the camera or on stage. And that just is. And it gets me excited. But what other tips can you add? Can you finish us off with here?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm actually speaking at FCA's big Orlando convention, and they're doing a theme, and there's three of us speaking on completely different topics. Mine's on marketing, but it's really for the new chiropractor, and then also the seasoned chiropractor that's maybe looking at a pretty near future, not a year, but within a handful of years, kind of exit. But we're going to really talk about marketing, and I'm going to angle it from two different types of chiropractor. That new chiropractor, that younger one, probably has more time than money to invest in marketing, and so I want them to start doing a lot of it. Right, the older DC, the more established one that has a busy practice, they may have more money than time to invest in marketing and be okay with that, and kind of find people and companies and other resources to make sure your practice has comprehensive marketing. It's going to be hard for you to do all of it, but you still want your practice to have really good marketing because it's going to make you more profitable while you own it. And then if it's 3, 5, 10 years down the road, it's going to be more sellable if it's got a really good, fully involved marketing strategy. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm, kind of really focusing on right now is really helping chiropractors understand that. Going back to your video thing is, keep on working and getting better. Like I hired a public speaking coach, and I actually was able to take my 5-minute introduction from Jay's event, because he's, they videoed it, professional videographer, and they sent me my talk, and I sent that, my public speaking coach wanted to kind of dissect my intro, and I did a lot of things right, but she kind of, hammered me on some things,
Good.
right?
Good. Yeah.
And some of it's small stuff. And
I mean, even like I would venture to guess, I don't know this for sure, but the top athletes in the world, even the people at the top of their games, are still getting coached on a consistent basis. Actors, performers, everybody, chiropractors, still getting coached, right? So, Dr. Kevin Christie, thank you, man. This is awesome. I love our conversations. I'm excited for you to share this information, especially at the FCA. I know there's going to be a lot of chiros and get some really good info from you. And I'm just excited about modern chiropractic marketing and the way you're approaching this. I love it, man. So keep up the great work. And I'm really stoked to introduce you to the Genesis Nation tribe here. And if anyone wants more info, we'll put the info in our show notes below so that you can find Dr. Christie. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You got it.